Thank you. Good evening. Before we get started, I have to do something. I'm going to take a picture to post this on my Instagram. It's one of the coolest nights of the year. So everybody wave and say, "Go you Bears." All right. Well done. So welcome to the 22nd annual Honors Day ceremony. This is one of the truly great nights in the Bowdoin year. The first thing I'd like us all to do is to thank the faculty that are here. They're here both to present to our students who've accomplished so much, but themselves individually and as representatives of the larger group of faculty bear great responsibility for the enormous work and passion and energy that they give in order to help all of you and your many colleagues among the student body accomplish the remarkable things that you have accomplished that we're celebrating here tonight. So to our faculty, thank you for everything you do. Tonight's celebration, Honors Day, strangely held at night, but we won't get into that, focuses specifically on departmental and program prizes. It gives us a chance to celebrate some of the remarkable academic and intellectual performance and artistic accomplishments of our students. Not all of the prizes will be given tonight. Some are dependent on those pesky final grades and theses that will be defended. But everything will be listed in the commencement program when we graduate in a little bit less than 2 weeks. At a luncheon last week, we honored students who were selected to receive awards to recognize their leadership, their character, and their many contributions to the college. And we also celebrated the 4 students who were chosen and have the privilege of speaking at commencement and baccalaureate. And I'd just like to acknowledge each one of them. The Franklin Delano Roosevelt Cup to Mohammed Mukhtar Noor, class of 2019, Mo as we know him. The Michael Francis Michike III Award to Teresa Diaz Trinca, class of 18. The Andrew Allison Haldane Cup to Rebecca Tesfamariam, class of 18. The Lucy and Howe Prize to Justin Isaiah Weathers, class of 18. And the President's Award to Margaret Mary Daisy Whistler, class of 18. The commencement prizes were presented to the following 4 students. The Goodwin Commencement Prize to Helen Galvin Ross, class of 18. The class of 1868 prize to Hepte Vergara Benitez, class of 16. The Dalva Stanwood Alexander First Prize, the person who will speak at baccalaureate, to Diana Furukawa, class of 18. And the Dalva Stanwood Alexander Second Prize to Carly Gale Berlin, class of 18. Our congratulations to all 8 of you. It is my distinct pleasure now to invite to the podium Dean Elizabeth McCormick.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce our speaker tonight, Todd Berzin, Assistant Professor of Religion and recipient of the 2017 Sidney B. Karofsky Award for Junior Faculty. Professor Berzin received his BA in Classical Studies from Columbia University. He also received his BA in Theology from the University of Oxford, St. John's College. He returned to Columbia University to earn his MA and PhD in religion. Professor Berzin joined the faculty at Bowdoin in 2014, and his areas of teaching include courses with the titles History of Early Christianity, Introduction to the New Testament, Gender and Sexuality in Early Christianity, Introduction to the Hebrew Bible, Theory and Method in the Study of Religion, Judaism in the Age of Empires, Introduction to the Study of Religion, and History of Heresy and Human Sacrifice. His research focuses on heresiology, speech and orality among Jews and Christians, ancient ethnography, Jewish-Christian relations in the ancient world, Christian anti-Judaism, theory and method in the study of religion, reception history of the Hebrew Bible and the New Testament. Tonight, he will present his Honors Day address, and it is entitled, quote, "On Inquiry and Antiquity, Confessions of a Citation Enthusiast," end quote. Please join me in welcoming Professor Todd Berzin to the stage.
I didn't trip coming up the stairs. So. President Rose, Dean McCormick, colleagues, students, family members, and of course, honorees. Despite my crippling anxiety about the next 12 minutes, it is delightful to be back at Bowdoin, and I'm truly humbled to have the opportunity to speak to all of you on such a celebratory occasion. It is especially auspicious to return from sabbatical for an event where the faculty of the college gather to honor the accomplishments of the students. Like all of you, I have also been the beneficiary of an enormous amount of encouragement and support from various members of the faculty. I'm standing before you this evening in large measure because of my colleagues in the Department of Religion. Robert Morrison, John Holtz, Elizabeth Pritchard, and Jorn Buckley have been incredibly generous mentors and interlocutors. I am sincerely indebted to them and to many other colleagues throughout the college. I would be remiss too if I didn't take this opportunity to disclose a relevant pedagogical secret. We, your professors, are endlessly learning from you, our students. Now, this sort of statement is usually followed by detailed thanks and acclaim for your intellectual and analytical skills. But since the next 2 hours will be devoted to honoring your achievements, I need not belabor the point. By the end of the night, I'm quite confident we'll be tired of hearing about your accomplishments. You are an exceptional group. We get it. We're all underachievers by comparison. As I understand it, my charge this evening is to take a few minutes and tell you a bit about what I study and why I study it. On this point, I can be uncharacteristically brief. My research, as Dean McCormick noted, focuses on Christianity and Judaism in the late ancient world. You got the sense that I'm interested in everything under the moon. That's not quite true, but okay. In the broadest terms, I examine how these two religious groups contemplated, organized, and articulated their knowledge of the world and its diverse inhabitants in various sorts of texts and textual genres. And while I was tempted to use the time allotted to me tonight to demonstrate the ways in which people who aren't Christian have nonetheless had their sense of self shaped by Christianity in profound and lasting ways, in the end, I thought it would be wiser to discuss a more foundational matter. That's pretty foundational, but this is foundational too. I'd like to talk about inquiry, and to do that, I need to tell you a story. On April 26th, 2009, I woke up to discover that the chair of the department in which I was working on my PhD had written an op-ed in the New York Times entitled "End the University as We Know It." As many of the people in this room can attest, graduate school is not necessarily the easiest or calmest of environments. And so to read an op-ed from one's department chair that says essentially blow the system up is both exhilarating and terrifying. And as I read his editorial, my mind darted back and forth between these exact sentiments until I came to a particularly unsettling section. As departments fragment, he wrote, quote, "Research and publication become more and more about less and less. Each academic becomes the trustee not of a branch of the sciences, but of limited knowledge that all too often is irrelevant for genuinely important problems. A colleague recently boasted to me that his best student was doing his dissertation on how the medieval theologian Duns Scotus used citations. Now, 3 weeks before this op-ed was published, its author and I, who will remain anonymous, as well as a few others, attended a seminar together. It was customary for each attendee to introduce him or herself by explaining a bit about what they were currently researching. When it was my turn, I explained that I was writing a paper about how an early Christian author, Eusebius of Caesarea, had used citations in his works. As you can imagine, when I read my department chair's comments in the Times deriding a nearly identical project as useless, I was distressed. I wasn't simply surprised by his words, I felt chastened by them. After all, he was offering up his unvarnished assessment as an expert. He had written scores of books and articles. He had been teaching for decades. I hadn't published a word. I had never taught my own class. The entire experience left me feeling apprehensive and plagued by self-doubt. And so, despite earning the moniker citation guy from my friends and my doctoral advisor, I never wrote about citation technique again. I ceased work on the project, which for a while was going to be the subject of my dissertation. I see now, in ways I did not at the time, that I was absolutely wrong to stop working on that project. I abandoned it for all the wrong reasons. I was mistaken to submit to a moralizing refrain about the importance of only some types of knowledge and only some modes of inquiry. And let's not lose sight of the fact that citation technique is both inordinately interesting and deeply impactful. It shows us how knowledge is transmitted, altered, and recontextualized over time to suit political, religious, and ideological needs. To dismiss such a project by insisting that it is insignificant or irrelevant is dangerous, misleading, and altogether narrow-minded. It attacks the very core of critical inquiry. It substitutes the values of humanistic inquiry for a self-righteous ranking of knowledge. There was a moment in one of my courses a few years ago where this very same issue came up in a slightly different way. I think some of the people who took this course are in the room. I had assigned a particularly unwieldy book for class, which will also go unnamed, and a few minutes into the conversation, a student raised his hand to quite forcefully express, read, yell at me, his frustration with the book. He said, and I remember this quite vividly, "Professor, I simply don't know what to do with this reading. I don't know how to apply what I read." In that moment, it occurred to me that this was perhaps the most consequential question a student had ever asked me. His question wasn't really about the content of the book. It was about something much bigger and more demanding. And so I essentially stopped class to give his question its full due. Not simply to try to answer it, but to identify its presuppositions about what constitutes worthwhile knowledge in the first place. Tellingly, his question presumed a certain framework about inquiry and the pursuit of knowledge, that real knowledge should be immediately practical and actionable. Of course, this is an essential way of thinking about certain kinds of knowledge fields and disciplines. Knowledge in these contexts is that which can be concretely applied. You can learn how to build a bridge, how to write software, or how to splice a gene. I think those are things people do. I don't know. But we get ourselves into trouble when these legitimate forms of instrumentalist knowledge become all-consuming and normative. When we narrow the field of knowledge itself and start to pass judgment on the validity of other modes of knowing. When we insist on the supremacy of knowledge because it is practical, and when we dismiss those branches of knowledge that are not application-oriented or easily marketable. Those of us who work in the humanities know that the inquiry we pursue is founded on a different set of animating principles. Humanistic inquiry is fundamentally built on the proposition that knowledge exists for its own sake. It is an end in itself. It does not need to be practical, now or in the future. Not all knowledge can or needs to be monetized. Not all knowledge can be or should be instrumentalized. Humanistic inquiry further insists that questions are more important than answers. It is a mode of knowledge acquisition organized around means rather than ends, process rather than result. For that very reason, the sort of inquiry that humanists undertake is not about instantaneous payoff or payoff at all. It's about exploratory potential, the potential to change the way we think by exposing ourselves to new, complex, and stimulating ideas. We read and write about things that seem to defy categorization, things that confuse and yet compel us. And it is in the realm of uncertainty that curiosity and creativity flourish. I say this not to claim that humanistic inquiry is better than, say, economic or biological investigation, but only that it is different. And to paraphrase a great scholar of religion, Jonathan Z. Smith, what a difference makes. It is in the differences that we find the stimulation for the seeds of further investigation. It would, of course, be naive or disingenuous of me to deny the very real financial reasons that lay behind many of the academic decisions you have made during your time at Bowdoin. But I nonetheless want to encourage you, in terms I know are absolutely cliched, cliches are true, that's why they're called cliched, to make a genuine effort to understand the implications and motivations of different domains of knowledge. Not all knowledge can or needs to change the world. Not all knowledge needs to produce wealth. Not all knowledge has any sort of end beyond being absorbing. You should study things, and I hope you have studied things, because you find them compelling. It is good enough that certain ideas, texts, historical periods, or equations excite you, that they alter your thought patterns, that they live obsessively inside you. All of this runs counter to the idea that some knowledge is relevant or serious and some is not. To insist on such a hierarchy of knowledge is to rip the heart and soul out of the liberal arts. My message to you then on this auspicious occasion is as simple as it is unoriginal. Be a religion major. No, actually, it is use your time here and beyond Bowdoin to study disciplines that you don't know anything about. Not simply to learn new facts or figures, but to gain an understanding of the foundational principles of different fields of knowledge. And fundamentally, to appreciate that not all knowledge is quantifiable. There is enormous value in the proposition that knowledge should be pursued for its own sake. If Bowdoin has taught you anything, I sincerely hope it is that. So please linger over oddities and details you read about. Become obsessed with Aramaic verb forms, the migratory patterns of birds, transcendental numbers, the marginalia on manuscripts, Japanese calligraphy, or of course citation technique. And whatever you do, learn to embrace the fact that utility is not what makes knowledge valuable. Knowledge has more than one sort of value, and Bowdoin, I think, or rather I hope, exists to teach you just that. Thank you very much, and congratulations on the rise.
Thank you very much, Todd. It is now my pleasure to tell you a little bit about the Karofsky Prize. The Sidney B. Karofsky Award for Junior Faculty, given by members of the Karofsky family, is awarded annually by the Dean of Academic Affairs in consultation with our Committee on Appointments, Promotion, and Tenure. And our deliberations are based on student evaluations of teaching, and we make the award to an outstanding Bowdoin teacher who, quote, best demonstrates the ability to impart knowledge, inspire enthusiasm, and stimulate intellectual curiosity. We've just seen a great example of that. It's my pleasure to tell you tonight, that the announcement for, it's my pleasure tonight to announce that the 2018 recipient of the Sidney B. Karofsky Award for Junior Faculty is Peggy Wong. Peggy is an assistant professor in Asian Studies and History of Art. Congratulations. Such a pleasure. Wonderful. Wonderful. It's my further pleasure to introduce August Posh, class of 2018, Hannah Renato, class of 2018, and George Lopez, Beckwith Artists in Residence, to perform a music interlude. Andante from Double Concerto for Violin and Cello by Brahms. so much. We will now begin the presentation of department prizes. We will begin with Africana Studies. We ask that student recipients for each department come to the stage at the same time as the department's faculty presenter. So we'll begin with Africana Studies.
Good evening. Good evening. My name is Tess Chicalico. I'm honored, I'm sure you'll be hearing that word a lot tonight. I'm honored to represent Africana Studies and to award the Lennox Book Prize through a fund established by the Lennox Foundation and Jeffrey C. Norris, class of 86, with the book prize to Adira Polit for her contributions to the wider campus community and especially for her outstanding achievement in Africana Studies. Our second award is to Anne Fraser Gregory. The Dorothy Haythorne Collins Award goes to her. It's presented by the Society of Bowdoin Women for the best junior in Africana Studies. Nice working.
Hello, I'm Susan Wegner from Art History. It's my pleasure to award the prizes to these juniors and seniors tonight. Our first award is the Ann Bartlett Lewis Memorial Prize in Art History, which is going to Haley Beeman, who is the co-creator of The Reading Room, an exhibition that you can go see tomorrow in the Bowdoin College Museum of Art in the Becker Gallery. And she and her colleague, June Lay, will be talking about this tomorrow at 4 p.m. in the Beam classroom. You're invited to come hear them speak about that then. The Art History Junior Prize, we have so many fine people, we have to split it among three. Noah Dubay, Kinaya Hassane in absentia, and Sarah Ori. Noah is launching on an independent study on the figure of Medea in literature and art for next year. But right after this presentation, he's going to be singing with the a cappella group, the Longfellows. So go hear his excellence in music, as well as art history. Kinaya, who is studying abroad, is well known to you as a columnist of the Orient, and she's a Mellon Mays Fellow who will be working on her independent study with Professor Dana Bird next year, so we look forward to hearing from her. Our third junior is Sarah Ori. You may know her and her 400-meter personal best record, 59.85. But she is also working on a record for art history, taking the most senior advanced seminars of any person known to the college. Our final prize, the Art History Senior Year Prize, is going to Eliza Goodpasture, who is also presenting tomorrow on her project. She's been studying our benefactor, James Bowdoin III, and issues of class related to his acquisition and use of art. So come tomorrow at 4 p.m. to the Beam classroom and hear what Eliza has to say.
Hello, everybody. Hi. I'm Mike Colster. I'm chair of visual arts, teach photography, and would you guys come over here a little closer? Come on. It's really wonderful to present these prizes on behalf of visual arts. And it's a pleasure for me personally. I have all 4 of these students in class this semester, so I can attest to their incredible talent. But I'm not going to say a whole lot more because they're really sick of listening to me for this semester, right? Yeah. So I'm gonna announce these awards and tell you a little bit about them, but I'm going to be brief. We have an Ann Bartlett Lewis Memorial Prize in Visual Arts, and that goes to Diana Furukawa and Nevin Swanson. And I can tell you a little bit about them briefly. Diana is a wonderful printmaker and a budding photographer, and she's going to be at the public library in Millinocket doing some oral history and volunteer management. Nevin's been awarded a Watson Fellowship, so he'll be traveling the world next year. So have a good time. Yeah. All right. I'm going to give you these in a second, all right? And also, I have the prize for the, and you should know that this particular prize is established by the family of Ann Bartlett Lewis, and it's given for demonstrated excellence in creative visual arts. That excellence is on display over in Edwards on Friday for our open house, so please come from 5 to 7. You should also know that Nevin has a 23-minute film that's screening on Saturday at Sills Hall as well. So there's opportunities to come in contact with their work very soon. I should tell you that the Richard P. Martell Jr. Memorial Prize is going to 2 juniors, returning students, to Benjamin Painter and Megan Parsons. Ben is a government major and Megan is a sociology major. They've been working collaboratively for over the course of this full year, making photographs as a pair. So that's kind of an interesting and wonderful situation that's arisen. And their work is on display over in Edwards as well. And this prize is awarded to these 2 students who, in the judgment of the visual arts faculty, are deemed to have produced the most creative, perceptive, proficient, and visually appealing artworks exhibited at the college during the academic year. You may remember having seen their pictures in the fishbowl in the VAC for a good part of January and February. Is that right? Okay, good. So congratulations, you guys. This is a real pleasure.
Hi, good evening. I'm Belinda Kong, representing Asian Studies this evening. We have 3 prizes this year. The Chinese Language Prize is awarded to Samuel Kisafat for his commitment to the study of Chinese language and his immersion in Chinese culture. In 2017, Sam competed in the Chinese Bridge Speech Contest and was awarded 2nd place at the advanced level. He was also selected as one of 6 cultural ambassadors and received an all-expense-paid trip to China. Sam is also a music major, recently featured in the Voda News, and he has combined his love of music with his study of Chinese culture. While studying abroad in China in 2016, he learned to play the erhu, a very difficult Chinese instrument, and also studied the folk music of Chinese ethnic minority groups there. So in every way, Sam has served as a model for our Chinese language students. So congratulations. The next prize is the Japanese Language Prize. It's being awarded this year to Ethan Barkalow for excellence in Japanese language study and contributions to cross-cultural understanding through service and research. Ethan started studying Japanese just 3 years ago as a sophomore, but in that short time, he has accomplished quite a lot, placing 3rd in the Advanced Essay Division of the New England Japanese Language Contest, winning the Goldsmith-Adams Research Award for research in Japan, and completing an honors thesis based on that research. This summer, Ethan will return to Japan to teach English as part of the JET program. For these accomplishments and for serving as a model for other Japanese language students, we present this year's prize to Ethan. And finally, it's my great pleasure to announce the Asian Studies Prize being awarded to Danny Castro Bonilla for overall exceptional performance in Asian Studies. A dedicated student of Chinese language, Danny has received numerous awards over the years, including a critical language scholarship sponsored by the Department of State, and also a Fulbright scholarship to teach English in Taiwan next year. In addition, Danny's course of study in the Asian Studies program has ranged widely across the disciplines of religion, art history, history, and literature, as well as across the regions of South, Southeast Asia, East Asia, and Asian diaspora. He truly embodies the breadth and depth of interdisciplinary study that our program aims to cultivate. For his academic rigor, his intellectual energy, and scholarly brilliance, we're pleased to present this year's Asian Studies Prize to Danny Castro Bonilla.
All right, well, I'm here representing the biochemistry program. It is my absolute pleasure to introduce these two exceptional biochemistry students, Casey Nelson, who will be awarded our junior prize in biochemistry, the John L. Howland Book Award in biochemistry, and Sophia Conwell, who's being awarded the Stephen Smith Prize in biochemistry. These two students have shown absolutely exceptional talent for the subject, dedication, passion in the research laboratory. Sophia, our senior here, is so excited about her research on pep toys in Professor Ben Gorski's lab that she's been known to go by the nickname Pep this year. So it's really with great pleasure that I give these two students these awards.
Good evening. I have the pleasure of announcing 3 prizes from the biology department. The first is the Copeland Gross Biology Prize. It's given in honor of Manton Copeland and Alfred Otto Gross. They were biology professors of their day. This book prize is presented to the graduating senior who has best exemplified the idea of a liberal education during the major program in biology. 3 people are going to share this award. Each is manifesting the spirit of the prize in their own extraordinary ways. They are Caleb Gordon, Devlin Shea, and Zoe Wood. There was more for Devlin, I'm sorry. I also have the privilege of awarding the Donald and Harriet S. Maycomber Prize in Biology. This is a prize awarded annually to one or more outstanding student in the Department of Biology. And this year, this award will be shared by Tossapol Poi, Bolshari, and Sam Walks. And lastly is the James Malcolm Moulton Prize in Biology. This book prize was established in honor of James Malcolm Moulton, another professor of biology of his day, and is awarded annually to an outstanding junior majoring in biology as judged by scholarship and interest. And this year, it will be shared by Michaela Kiefer and Susanna Lawhorn in absentia.
You can. I am now honored to represent the chemistry department, and you can see I had a compelling reason to keep the biochemistry awards brief, and I will do the same with chemistry. But it's my absolute pleasure to recognize these students for their passion and skill and dedication in chemistry. I have awards ranging from 5 sub-disciplines in chemistry, ACS awards, and particular awards that I'm going to be introducing or giving to students who are first years and laboratory awards. So first up is an ACS award for superior work in analytical chemistry, and that's to Catherine Call. Likewise, I have an ACS award for superior work in inorganic chemistry to Gavin Schilling. One for superior work in organic chemistry by Jack Charland. One to Laura Cotter for superior work in physical chemistry. And an ACS main award to Ryan Keefe. Okay. I have a Sam Kammerling Laboratory Award for Bennett Sneap. The Philip Weston Meserve Prize in Chemistry goes to Julia Morris. This is for her promise that she's shown in chemistry. The William Campbell Root Award, which is to Karen Chan, who has really been a huge proponent of service in the department. And this is in absentia. Okay. I have a first-year student chemistry achievement award. This is shared by 2 students, Juliana Tauby. Sorry, and the second one is Eva Conversani. There's also a first-year student chemistry laboratory award for Emily King. Okay, and I wanted to dwell on one award award so I could say something in a little bit more detail, and I've chosen the Dana Walker Mayo Prize because this is the inaugural year of the award, and this was newly created by the generous donation of Bowdoin alumni who worked closely with Dana Walker Mayo. Dana Walker Mayo was a force of nature who revolutionized undergraduate instruction in chemistry. He made meaningful contributions, studying oil spills by detecting unique chemical fingerprints, and he was deeply invested in mentoring student research. I'm sure he would have been pleased to know that Daniel Doe is being honored with this award. Daniel has been an incredible researcher in our department, has shown exceptional motivation and potential. So last up, Dan.
Good evening. I am Aviva Briefel, representing Cinema Studies, and I'm here to present 2 awards to 2 fantastic scholars at different moments in their academic careers at Bowdoin. The first prize is the Rosebud Prize, which is named for the iconic reference in the 1941 Orson Welles film Citizen Kane, and is awarded to a member of the first-year class for the best essay written for a Cinema Studies class. This year's recipient is Ayana Harskowet for her paper adapting Kazuo Ishiguro's Never Let Me Go, From Friendships to Romances. And next we have the Sunrise Prize, named for F.W. Murnau's 1927 film Sunrise, which is awarded to a member of the senior class for the best essay written for a cinema studies class or independent study. This year's winner is Rain Kellen Stone for his essay, A Chance to Be Me, Gender Hyperbole, Possession/Transformation, and the Male Body in The Shining and the Fly. Congratulations. Amazing work. Thank you.
I'm Jennifer Kosak in the Classics Department, and it's my great honor to award some prizes to some wonderful students. We have 2 sophomore awards, and we have the Sewell Latin Prize, which will be awarded to very fine young Latinist, sophomore Latinist Justin Miller, who is not here this evening, and in Latin in absentia. But our our sophomore Greek prize, however, is awarded to Will Donaldson, who is here this evening, a superb Greek student. We have such confidence in his Greek abilities that he is already serving as a department Greek tutor, the first sophomore in recent memory to do so. So congratulations, Will. We have several seniors to award prizes to as well. First of all, the Hannibal Hamlin Emery Latin Prize, awarded to Cooper Hemphill, who is both a classics and math major and has been doing a fascinating independent study on Greeks and geometry. And it's been wonderful for me to learn a little bit more about geometry. And finally, we have the Nathan Gould Prize, which is shared between 2 outstanding seniors. First of all, Juliana Lewis, who is not here this evening, but has written a wonderful honors project entitled Socratic Swearing, Explaining Informal Oaths in Plato's Dialogues. And by Zeus, by Hera, and by the dog, she found insights into Plato's literary art. And secondly, to Louisa Moore, who wrote an honors project on the Empress Julia Domna as Mater Familias, the power of portrayal, which made outstanding use of a huge number of resources, but in particular, very pleased to see her original research on the use of coins that we have here in the Bowdoin Art Museum. So congratulations, Louisa.
It's a great pleasure to represent computer science in honoring the accomplishments of 2 students tonight. The Computer Science Senior Year Prize is awarded to a senior judged by the department to have achieved the highest distinction in the major, both in classwork and research. And this year, the Senior Year Prize goes to Andrew Prescott. And the Alan Tucker Computer Science Research Prize is awarded for excellence in summer research. And this year, the prize goes to Corey Alini for excellence in 3 summers of research.
I'm Phil Camille in the Earth and Oceanographic Science Department in the Environmental Studies program. And on behalf of EOS, this evening I'm pleased to honor the 3 students demonstrating the highest achievement in our introductory Earth and Oceanographic Science courses this year. For highest achievement in the Investigating Earth course, this year's awardee is Caitlin Cox. And for highest achievement in the introductory oceanography course, we have 2 awardees this year, Ojen Kotai and Zoe Dietrich.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ta Herrera from the Economics Department. I'm honored to be here, as are the rest of us, to celebrate some of our most outstanding juniors. We celebrate our seniors later. We actually have a fairly large number of outstanding juniors. We draw no significant inference from the fact that 6 of them have decided to be somewhere else for this year. So we have 2 prizes. The first is the Paul H. Douglas Prize, which recognizes juniors who show outstanding promise in scholarship and economics. This is named after Bowdoin class of 13, Paul H. Douglas, who was a multiple-term senator for Illinois. He was a war hero, and he was the creator of the much-beloved Cobb-Douglas production function. So that's why we love him anyway. This prize is awarded to Matthew Hudson Bielowski in absentia, Frank Michael Bruni in absentia, and Isaiah Smeltzer West in absentia, and Victoria Estelle Yu in presentia, I think it is. She is. Yeah. I've had Victoria in a couple classes, so I can attest to the fact that she is extremely creative and energetic, that she has very strong technical ability, and she's able to very quickly grasp and robustly apply complicated economic theory. So we celebrate that, among many other things, even if you're not a war hero. So our second prize is the Adam Smith Book Prize, which recognizes juniors who demonstrate exceptional analytical skills and originality in the study of economy and society. This is named after Adam Smith. And I guess it's appropriate that all three of these awards will be received as though by an invisible hand. So these awards go to Christopher Holam Lee, Amalia Roth, and Marina Blair Stam. So please join me in congratulating them. Congratulations, Victoria.
Okay. I'm pleased to represent the Education Department. We're offering, presenting two awards this evening. One is for the Bowdoin Teacher Scholars, and the other is the Award for Interdisciplinary Scholarship. And I'm first going to present the award for the Bowdoin Teacher Scholars. And I just want to say that Bowdoin is a place where people think long and hard about taking or offering an 8:30 a.m. class. And in fact, we no longer even offer 8 a.m. classes beginning next semester. These are folks who may have been teaching their second class by 8:30 in the morning. So the Bowdoin Teacher Scholars, as I introduce them, I'll also let you know what they were teaching and what they're going to be certified in. So the first person I'm very excited to give their award to for the Bowdoin Teacher Scholars and to welcome into the teaching profession is Rachel Pollinger in math. And welcome to the teaching profession, Kim Gilmore in Latin. And Olivia Bean is now a teacher in physical science. And welcome to the teaching profession, Diego Infante in social studies. And Ben Miller is a teacher of English. And Jude Marks is also now a teacher of English. And Becca Stern is a teacher of social studies. And so we added another award just to make sure that we could keep up with chemistry. The Education Department Award for Interdisciplinary Scholarship recognizes students who really have combined their study of education with another subject. And today we recognize Kristen Bishop, who's combined her study with government and legal studies. And Lashonda Harbin, who's combined her studies with Africana studies.
It's the English Department football team. We're going to be playing chemistry and education in the quad after the ceremony, so if you join us. My name is Brock Clark. I'm the chair of the English department. It's my great pleasure to be up here presenting these awards to these great people. First off is the Academy of American Poets Colette Inez Poetry Prize that goes to June Lay. June should have just stayed up here because the Philip Henry Brown Prize goes to Sophie DeBrown and June Lay. Sophie first. The Hawthorne Prize goes to Andrew McGowan. The Natalie Walker Llewellyn Poetry Prize goes to Sydney Toe. The Nonfiction Prize goes to Carly Berlin. The Poetry Prize goes to Adam Silberberg. The Prey English Prize goes to J.U. The Forbes Ricard Jr. Memorial Poetry Prize goes to Ayana Harsquet. We have two winners of the David Sewell Premium Prize. They are Brianna Cedrone and Emily Ha. The Mary Sinkinson Short Story Prize goes to Brendan Mallory, who I believe is not here. And we can clap for him anyways, sure. And last but not least, the Bertram Lewis Smith Jr. Prize goes to Monica Zing.
On behalf of the Environmental Studies program, I am very pleased to recognize students for two different awards. For the outstanding academic achievement in completion of the Environmental Studies major, this award goes to Casey Chase, Jesse Chung, and Linnea Patterson. And the second prize is for exemplary service to the college and the broader community. And this award goes to Nikki Mitch.
Good evening. I'm Jen Scanlon in Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies, and I'm delighted tonight to be awarding the Edith Lansing Kuhn Sills Prize in Gender, Sexuality, and Women's Studies, which is sponsored by the Society of Bowdoin Women, and to recognize Elena Ariel Gleed, who deserves this prize for her excellence across a large number of interdisciplinary courses in gender, sexuality, and women's studies, and also her research excellence. She's completing an honors project on Somali women from their origins in Somalia through refugee camps in Kenya and through their interactions with the UN and on to life in Lewiston, Maine. So congratulations, Elena.
I'm Jill Smith for the German department, and I'm impatient. I won't make a joke about German efficiency. We have 2 prizes to award, and the first is the German Consular Prize in Literary Interpretation, which was initiated by the German Consulate, from whom the winner receives a certificate of merit and a book prize. Actually, this stack will be doubled, and the recipient will have to come to my office to receive it, so there'll be no weightlifting on stage. And that goes to Brewster Taylor. The second prize is the Old Broad Bay Prize in Reading German, which was established by Jasper J. Stahl and others as a living memorial to the men and women from the valley of the Rhine River who in the 18th century were bamboozled by a crooked lord, Lord Waldo, into coming to an unsettled part of Maine. 75% of them died in the first winter. So if you complained about this past winter, that gives you some perspective. But those who lived went on to fight in the American Revolution on the side of the American rebels and showed true grit. So these 3 students also showed stick-to-itiveness and excellence in reading comprehension and translation in German. And those students are Alexandra Belmore, Christopher Brown, and again, Brewster Taylor. Congratulations.
I'm Paul Franco, and I'm the chair of the government department. We give out 5 prizes, 4 for each of the subfields in government, and then 1 for constitutional law. I actually have encomiums for each one of these students, but I think I'm going to forego those to keep things moving along. So without further ado, the prize in America for excellence in the study of American politics goes to Mac Brower. For the prize for excellence in the study of comparative politics goes to Jojo Amdor. The prize in international relations goes to Allie Miller. And the prize for political theory goes to Atticus Carnell. That was out of illness. He didn't shake my hand, not because I'm his honors supervisor. Actually, I can't resist. Atticus wrote an honors project on the German philosopher Jürgen Habermas. And for those of you who have read Habermas, you will know that that alone is prizeworthy. The fifth prize that I'm going to give out is the Richard E. Morgan Prize for Excellence in the Study of the Constitution. And before I give the prize, I want to say a little bit about the person in whose honor this prize is given, and that's Richard Morgan, who taught in the government department for 45 years. He was a beloved professor and a distinguished scholar of constitutional law. And this year's recipient of the Richard E. Morgan Prize for Excellence in the Study of the Constitution goes to Kristen Bishop.
Hi, my name is Alan Wells, and I'm representing Latin American Studies tonight, and it is very much my pleasure to give the John Harold Turner Prize in Latin American Studies to two exceptional students that I've had the pleasure of working with for the last 4 years. I've had a number of courses with them, and this year I've had the wonderful experience of working with them on independent projects of their own design. That is Paula Maimi and Jonah Watt. And the second prize we're awarding tonight is the Latin American Studies Award for Public Engagement, which is given to a junior or senior who has contributed to the recognition and understanding of Latin America, the Caribbean, or the diasporas through exemplary public engagement, meaningful community service, and efforts in public education. And I think when we came up with this award a few years ago, we had someone like Jonah Watt in mind. So I'm very honored to give him this prize tonight.
Michael King from the Cabal of Mathematics. We have 3 prizes to give tonight. The first is the 100 pi minus epsilon prize, given to a sophomore who demonstrates extraordinary inspiration and joy for mathematics, and our recipient certainly fits the bill and is also extraordinarily talented too. So this is for Alana Haslam. Our second prize is the Smythe Prize. It's given to a sophomore who, we look at all the sophomores each year and we say, who is going through our major horrifyingly fast and exhausting our curriculum by the end of their sophomore year almost. And then we also give, so we give it the sophomore year, and then we give them more money in the junior year and senior year too. So that's why there's juniors and seniors. But so our winners this year is Sam Harder, and the junior is John On in absentia, and the senior is Sam Swain. Our senior prize is the Edward Sanford Hammond Prize, given to a graduating senior who's completing a major in mathematics with distinction. This year we have 2 winners, Ira Lee and Sam Swain.
I'm Vincenzo, chair of the music department, and it is my honor to present the Sue Winchell Burnett Music Prize to Jae-Yun Yu. This prize was established by Rebecca P. Bradley in memory of Sue Winchell Burnett, and is supposed to go to the member of the senior class who has majored in music and has made the most significant contribution to music while as a student at Bowdoin. And Jae-Yun is definitely the embodiment of this award. Jae-Yun has accompanied the chamber choir on both piano and organ and has sung in the chamber choir. She has been a stalwart member of our chamber ensembles program here. In fact, she's even organizing a chamber music concert later on tonight, right? She has also almost every semester music directed at least one music theater production while here at Bowdoin, and the last of which will actually be an original musical about collegiate experiences of Asian American women, which will take its premiere on this very stage, Saturday and Sunday. And so she clearly embodies this award, and we want to congratulate Jae-Yun Yu on the Sue Winchell Burnett Music Prize.
I'm Dale Cyphers, chair of the physics department, and you've met Barry Logan, biology. I'm here to introduce the Summer Increase Kimball Prize. We have two co-winners. I'm going to introduce one, and Barry will introduce the other. The prize is awarded annually to those members of the senior class who have shown the most ability and originality in the fields of the natural sciences. I'm introducing Margaret Conley, someone who has an incredible breadth in the sciences. And an example of her depth is the thesis she just did on oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in a highly instrumented forest. And she is one of the winners.
Thanks, Dale. As Dale said, I'm Barry Logan, the chair in the biology department. And it is my distinct privilege to introduce you to the other co-recipient of the Kimball Prize. He is a double major in mathematics and biology. He's a published scientist, many more to come, I would expect. He is conducting research in lines of inquiry in two independent fields. He's been a TA in two fields while on campus here. He's been a QR tutor in those fields and another. He supported his thesis advisor, Professor Ann McBride, in her development and in teaching a week-long immersion course this semester at the Mount Desert Island Biological Laboratories. He will leave us to start a 5-year joint doctoral program in biology or chemistry and biochemistry at Scripps and at Oxford. He's a brilliant scientist. He will be missed for that, and he will be remembered for it, and also for his generous spirit and his positive approach to life. We in Druckenmiller Hall will be measurably depleted by the departure of his smile. That. I'll conclude simply by saying that last semester I got to know our recipient as, in the midst of all of this, he audited my intermediate course on plant ecophysiology, which is about as far distant from his specific areas of interest as one can get in biology. He is Taspol Poi Folshari.
Good evening.
I'm Hadley Horch. I'm the chair of the neuroscience program, and it's my pleasure to present the Munno Prize this evening. Established by David Munno in the class of '99, this prize is awarded for excellence in research by a student or students majoring in neuroscience. This year, the prize is split among the 3 talented scientists that you see here standing with me, all of whom have completed or very soon will complete an excellent honors thesis in neuroscience. The recipients are Emma Kane, Shannon Knight, and Meredith Stanhope.
Hi, I'm Sarah Conley. I'm here as the chair of philosophy. In philosophy, we have many deserving students, but the Phillips W. Cummings Prize goes to the most deserving student. Philosophy, as you hopefully already know, means love of wisdom. So it is fitting that we give the prize to someone who has shown a deep and wide-ranging love of wisdom. He is completing now the physics major as well as the philosophy major, and today, I think, turned in his honors thesis in philosophy. So congratulations, Nick DeStefano.
I'm back. But I brought a posse. The first prize I want to award today is the Edwin Herbert Hall Prize in Physics. The annual income of this fund, named in honor of Edwin Herbert Hall, class of 1875, and then honorary degree 1878 and 1905. He's the discoverer of the Hall effect, stunningly named after him. And it's awarded each year to the best sophomore scholar in the field of physics. He is probably the most famous person none of you know about who's a Bowdoin grad. And we have 2 winners of this prize today, Russell O'Brien and Hannah Schliefer. Next, we have the Noel C. Little Prize in Experimental Physics. The prize is named in honor of Noel C. Little, class of 1917, get it right, and SCD, Doctor of Science, 67, Professor of Physics, and Josiah Little, Professor of Natural Science. It's awarded to a graduating senior who has distinguished himself or herself in experimental physics. This year's winner did an honors project with me down in a very hot lab down in the basement, and did a fabulous job on a very difficult experiment, and I'm very honored to give him this prize, Henry Haig. Congratulations. Next, we have the E.O. Lacase Jr. Prize in Theoretical Physics, and I get to say a little bit more about Margaret Conley here. It's a prize named in honor of Elroy O. Lacase Jr. of the class of 1944, Professor of Physics Emeritus, and it's awarded to a graduating senior who has distinguished herself or himself in theoretical physics. So Margaret has an incredible breadth. She is actually fabulous in experiment, fabulous in theory in physics, fabulous in other sciences, and has an enviable academic record, and I'm sure will be on to incredibly good things later in life. So I'd like to present and congratulate Margaret Conley. And lastly, we have the American Association of Physics Teachers Learning Assistant Prize. This prize is given to the student or students who show an exemplary reliability, dedication to inspiring student engagement, excellence in learning group work, and willingness to go above and beyond their roles as department learning assistants. This year's recipient is Derek Cederman.
I want to know who's here in body and who's in spirit. We're 3 for 4. All right. I'm Robert Morrison, chair of the religion department. Because I'm about to step down as chair of the religion department, I took a cue from the film Guardians of the Galaxy and am making a mixtape for my successor. I kick things off with the logical song, and then for administrative inspiration, Der Kommissar. When we get to the songs that are more profound, that actually at least sound profound at 11:30 p.m. when you're still dealing with stuff as department chair. In Woodstock, the song, Joni Mitchell sings, "We are stardust, billion-year-old carbon, we are golden, caught in the devil's bargain." Religion 1101, Introduction to the Study of Religion, gives students aha moments by addressing themes from that song, such as religion and science, the problem of evil, and religion and popular culture. The Edgar Oaks Acorn Prize for the best essay written by a member of the second or first year classes in Religion 1101 goes to Cole Woodside Crawford in absentia and Audrey Moscato. The song concludes, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. As talented as all of you are, Sydney Smith and Colin Vanderveen know the most about how to get back to the garden. That's because they've won the Leah Ruth Thuman Biblical Literature Prize, awarded each year to the best scholar in biblical literature.
Well, I'm not even going to try to follow that one. I'm Catherine Doge-Roth. Ooh, we're rivaling chemistry and English here. That's good. As chair of the Department of Romance Languages and Literatures, I'm pleased to award this year's prize for excellence in Romance Languages and Literatures to Gabriella Julia Papper. As Romance Languages and Literatures major, Gabriella has pursued work in Italian and Hispanic studies, both here at Bowdoin and abroad, and used her linguistic skills and cultural knowledge to work with immigrant families as an intern for Safe Passage in New York City, which provides free legal representation and support services to minors, unaccompanied minors in immigration court. And I think she's going to go on and do some more of this kind of work as a legal assistant for Sullivan and Cromwell after graduation. So congratulations, Gabriella. The Goodwin French Prize is awarded each year to the best scholar in Francophone studies, and this year the prize goes to an outstanding student with extraordinary literary sensibility, Anna Robertson McLean. Having embraced her academic pursuits at Bowdoin with gusto and finished her studies here in just 3 years, Anna is now looking forward to moving to France, where she will pursue her Master's of Economic Law in Paris at the prestigious Sciences Po. We wish her all the very best in this exciting new adventure. Congratulations, Anna. The Eaton Leith Francophone Studies Prize is awarded each year to a member, or members in this case, of the sophomore junior class who achieve outstanding results in the study of Francophone literature. This year we celebrate two sophomores who, from the moment they arrived at Bowdoin, have not ceased to dazzle us with their cultural and literary acuity, intellectual curiosity and engagement, and contagious enthusiasm. They are Diego Rafael Grossman and Tessa True Peterson. I'm very pleased to award the Charles H. Livingston Honors Prize in Francophone Studies to another extraordinary student, my student, whose name I will say with the French pronunciation to honor his family's Franco-American heritage, Zachary Richard Dupéry. Zach has just completed an impressive honors thesis that explores how Maine, which tragically lost its French-English bilingualism through a politics of shaming the French-speaking population, how it might become in the years ahead a truly multilingual community through concrete steps that value both heritage languages spoken by an increasingly diverse population and the opportunity for all students to learn languages in our public schools. Zach, it has been a true pleasure and privilege to work with you and learn from you this year, and I look forward to hearing about the many places the bilingualism you value so much takes you, and to following your next steps in activism here in the state of Maine. Congratulations.
I'm Davida Gavioli in Italian Studies, and tonight we'll be awarding two prizes in Italian, both established in 2010 by the generous donation of Zaccaria Messite, class of 1990. The first one is the Dante Prize in Italian Studies, that is awarded to the students in this case, who write the best essay on Dante or Italian literature. And tonight, we are honored to give the award to Spencer Wust and C.J. Marquez. The Raimondi Prize in Italian Studies honors the most outstanding students, again, in Italian Studies, to include language and culture. And this year, the prize goes to Emily Beaulieu and Cesar Varela. And Emily is the first Italian major ever to graduate from Bowdoin. And Cesar will go on to teach English in my hometown or outside of my hometown of Milan next year. So congratulations.
I am Caroline Wolfenson, representing the Hispanic section, the Philip C. Bradley Hispanic Studies Prize, established in 1982 by classmates and friends in memory of Philip C. Bradley of the class of 1966. This prize is awarded to outstanding students in Spanish language and literature, and this year it's been awarded to McClure Brower and Maura Friedlander. I am always so distracted. The Sophomore Prize in Hispanic Studies is the prize awarded each year to the most promising sophomore who has declared a major in Spanish, and this year goes to Finny Doherty. I hope that Spanish opens many worlds and doors for you. Gracias.
I'm Elisa Gillespie from Russian, and it's my pleasure to award the Russian awards this evening. I'm going to actually start with the second award because that's being given in absentia. The Russian Scholar Laureate Award is given for all-around excellence in and commitment to Russian. And this year's reception, Jana Cook is currently studying abroad in St. Petersburg. Jana exhibits cheerful enthusiasm for her Russian studies and tireless curiosity about Russian culture. Last summer, she researched and guest curated an exhibition of photographs by the Soviet photojournalist Dmitry Baltermans that was shown in Bodum's Museum of Art. This was an especially impressive accomplishment for a student who had completed just 1 year of Russian study up to that point. So I'm very pleased to recognize Jana Cook in absentia for her receipt of this year's Russian Scholar Laureate Award. The second prize that I'm very pleased to award tonight is our Senior Prize for Excellence in Russian Language and Literature. Jae-Yun Yu is the recipient of this year's Senior Prize in Russian. Jae-Yun is a remarkable and, as you've already gathered, very multi-talented student. In her Russian classes, Jae-Yun exhibits theoretical sophistication, deep literary sensitivity, intellectual creativity, and an insightful and playful intellect. She has a fluid and expressive mastery of Russian and clearly loves the language. Jae-Yun has been a model student in our classes who sets a high intellectual bar and demonstrates true dedication to studying the Russian language, culture, and literature, and I'm very pleased to be able to honor her with this well-deserved prize.
Hello, everyone. My name is Krista Van Vliet. I'm the chair of the Department of Sociology and Anthropology, and I'm very happy to be up here with these three fabulous individuals. So I have two prizes to give out tonight. The first is the Award for Distinguished Public Sociology and Anthropology. And this award is for those students who are majoring or minoring in sociology or anthropology who demonstrate an exemplary engagement in public scholarship or community service. And it especially recognizes those individuals who are able to make connections between their academic work and the work that they do in local and global communities. And so there are two people here, and I just have to say like a sentence about each one, because the first, Dia Chopra, I had the pleasure of working with this fall, but Dia has done work with children and youth throughout her time at Bodin in Ecuador, in India, and most recently in Lesbos, Greece, with unaccompanied youth refugees. And she has written a great independent study about that work that she turned in the fall. And then Daisy Whistler has done work here at Bowdoin and more generally, mostly she's part of the Disabled Students Association. She's been working on the Accessibility Task Force, and she's written an excellent honors project that highlights queer and disabled individuals' experiences. So I'm very pleased to give this award to both of these students. The second prize I have to give out is the Elbridge Sibley Prize, and this prize was established in 1989 in honor of Elbridge Sibley. It was established by Milton M. Gordon, class of '39, who was a student of Professor Sibley's, and it's awarded each year to that member of the senior class majoring in sociology or anthropology who has the highest mid-year general scholastic average in his or her Bowdoin class. And Sophie is a sociology major, and she's much more than a GPA.
Yes, that's right, it's the end, we're here. Thank you very much. My name is Sarah Bae Jung, I'm the chair of theater and dance, otherwise known as the Center for Cultivating Organ Donors for STEM Majors. I'm kidding, it's for finance, really. And it's my pleasure tonight to present a series of awards in various areas. The first goes for the Bowdoin Dance Group Award, which is awarded every year to an outstanding senior for contributions to dedicated work, goodwill, and talent over the course of their Bowdoin career. In the lively, imaginative spirit of the class of 1975, the first graduating class of Bowdoin dancers. This year it goes to Genesis Escalante. The second award is also for dance. This is the award for excellence in dance performance, and it goes to a woman who recently performed in the spring dance concert with great and an exquisite pairing, a wonderful self-choreographed solo, all of which she did with a broken nose. So for resilience and accomplishments well beyond this award, Lucia Gagliardone. The next award goes for outstanding contributions to theater and dance, and this is awarded to a student who, through consistent, generous, and varied activities, enriches the department's culture, raises the quality of its productions, and lifts the spirits of students, staff, and faculty. Not always an easy task. And this year it goes to, no one could be more deserving, Eric Mercado. Oh my gosh. The next prize is also a very special prize. This is the William H. Moody 56 Award. It was established in memory of Bill Moody, who for many years was the theater technician and friend of countless students. The award is presented annually to those who have made outstanding contributions to the theater through technical achievements accomplished in good humor. Also very important in our department. This year it is awarded to Miriam Fraga. And Connor Walsh. Yeah, well, you know, you can fix it, because that's your thing. Okay, here we go. The next prize goes to a woman who at this point needs no introduction. It is the Abraham Goldberg Prize, and it is awarded for excellence in directing. And I can think of no one more deserving, because directing in theater is really the culmination of the liberal arts. It's putting together language, literature, music, history, And so this year, it will come as no surprise, it goes to Jae-Yun Yu. And finally, the Alice Merrill Mitchell Prize, which was established by Wilmot Brookings Mitchell, class of 1890, and Edward Little, professor of rhetoric and oratory, in memory of his wife, Alice Merrill Mitchell, which I think is like kind of hysterical for you, Sophie. This goes to a student who has been an exemplary performer and actor in the department. And this year goes to a student who did an honors project on political feminist comedy. So I hope she liked my organ donor joke. This year it goes to Sophie DeBrown. Thank you very much.
I never get to say this, but Sarah was wrong. We're not done yet. Let me just make an observation. This evening always strikes me in many profound ways, but this is this evening and what our students have accomplished is a remarkable example of the power of the liberal arts and what makes Bowdoin so amazing. But there's enormous breadth of across the disciplines here, and you get a chance to get a peek into the projects that many of our students have been working on, and real depth in the work that they have done, particularly our seniors. And the second is to just take a second and recognize the relationship that our faculty have to our students. These aren't disembodied relationships. Our faculty know our students know our faculty, and this is the essence of what makes Bowdoin such a remarkable and wonderful place, and the education's so powerful here. And I just want to thank our faculty again for everything that you have done to make this possible. A shout out to Todd for a remarkable example of what, or explanation of what the power of the liberal arts. So thank you, Todd. You won't have to do this again for another 15 or 20 minutes. And again, to our students, for all that you have accomplished, many, many congratulations. It is now time to invite George Lopez back to the stage, as well as Caleb Gordon and Sophie DeBruyn, both class of 18, to lead us in the singing of the Alma Mater, and that is found on the last page.
Inside
Thank you and good evening.